Hey, what's good, folks? You know what it is. It's your boy Jay, and I'm here with another video for you today. Fox News just interviewed Kamala Harris yesterday, and everybody's talking about it. Everybody is giving their input, but there was one person who was baffled because he knew that the vice president was unprepared for this interview. Geraldo was on News Nation, and he had a few words to say about Kamala Harris's performance. Let's get to it. Fair use, fair use.
I'm baffled by the lack of preparation going into a high-profile, the highest-profile interview she has, as you described, Dan, the highest-profile interview that she has given. For example, the Democrats knew that immigration was going to be all about immigration. They were going to come out, Brett was going to come out smoking on immigration, and he would culminate his lament over how awful the situation is with pictures of the victims. I mean, that's the Republican playbook. It was obvious that it was coming. How could she not be ready to answer Lincoln Riley and Molly Tibbetts and so forth? Let me just read this. This is from the...
Well, before he goes on, first of all, let me give you a little video game analogy. Now, for my guys who play 2K, you got the rookie mode, you have all pro. See, when Kamala Harris was on MSNBC, CNN, Charlamagne the God, Steve Harvey, The View, she's playing on easy mode because they're going to give her softball questions. When you go on Fox, that's all pro. And when you play on easy mode for a long time, you get used to the easy mode. And then all of a sudden you jump to all pro, you don't know what the hell you're doing. That's Kamala Harris when she goes to Fox. Somebody should have sat her down and prepared her with answers, prepared her with questions. Is there anybody in her circle that would have even remotely given her questions that were similar to that? I don't know. Let's continue.
Father of Lincoln Riley. I think it's being used politically to get those votes. It makes me angry. I feel like they're just using my daughter's name, and she was much better than that. And she should be raised up for the person that she was. She was an angel. Why couldn't the vice president say these, as she did, that these are tragic deaths and the hearts go out and you're punched in the gut by it, but also say that these people or these poor victims are being used for political purposes? To me, that's politics.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. Geraldo, that's politics 101. That's politics 101. That's exactly what she should have said. If she would have said that, that probably would have went a long way. But she didn't say it. She got on her feelings, and you know what she wanted to say, the same old word salad. But when you say the same old word salad and somebody comes back at you with the same question and you don't want to answer the question, then you're lost. I agree, Geraldo. She should have said that, but at the end of the day, come on, this is somebody who isn't used to the hardball questions. She's not used to it. Let's continue.
101. I'm not a politician. I'm not an expert in this, but I know a thing or two about debates, and it just seems to me that she missed an opportunity. Her briefers did, and from this moment on, I advise them to not be the doormat when it comes to this issue. It is their biggest Achilles heel. There's no doubt about it. If Donald Trump wins, it will be largely because of the immigration issue and the fact that Democrats not only blew the reality on the border over the last 3+ years, but they don't know how to respond to it, I think is malpractice.
All right, before I play.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about it. The border and the economy. Those are the two things that most Americans are most concerned with. Abortion is number 3. But my thing is, if you keep on hammering abortion, that only works with one demographic. That works with women. The border, economic stuff, that works with both men and women, people of all races, blacks, whites, Latinos, Asians. That's what people want to hear about. People don't want to hear about abortion 24/7. I mean, I get it. It's a key matter. Roe v. Wade is a key matter, but there are other matters that are really more, I'm not gonna say just as important, but they are They're not more important, but they're just as important. And people want to hear what you're going to do about the economy. They want to hear about what you're going to do about the border. Those things are important, and you did, and she missed the mark on this interview.
Play more sound. Sean Spicer, reaction to the interview.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually largely in agreement with Geraldo. They knew this was coming, but more importantly, they did it for a reason, right? You went on Fox News to speak to an audience that you normally don't speak to. I kind of have adopted the phrase that other people have used called Kamala curious. People are willing to give her a thought or a pass because they don't know her. She didn't do any good tonight to move the needle in her direction. In fact, I would argue, for exactly the same reasons that Geraldo laid out, she was unable to answer the basic questions on immigration. She knew what was coming. And think about it. The View the other day asked her, what's the one thing that you would do different than Joe Biden? And her answer is, I can't think of anything. Those are layup questions that every candidate should be ready to answer. And I don't know if it's the staff or if it's her. Maybe it's a combination of both. But the reality is that you do an interview with a particular outlet to attract a certain amount of support, hopefully, from a constituency that they reach. She did Fox News for a reason, and she didn't do any favors for her campaign tonight. I would argue she actually moved the needle backwards. The bottom line is, you were right at the jump, Dan. When you look on conservative media tonight, everybody is mocking this debate. So if your goal was to reach people who normally watch Fox that might have been Kamala curious, you utterly failed.
Yeah. I know what Kamala was trying to do. You're trying to get some Republicans to vote for you and not for Trump. Now, when you go on a platform like Fox, if she would have handled that interview in a better fashion, if she would have had the answers and she would have, don't get defensive and had the legit answers for the questions, I honestly think she would have swayed some people. She would have swayed some people to maybe give her a chance. And what Sean Spicer said was absolutely correct. People don't know a lot about her. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, she was in the public eye for the last 3.5 years. She was the vice president, but she wasn't really in the public eye the last 3.5 years. So for her, this is brand new. But if when you go on Fox, man, come on, man. Even a 10-year-old would know that they were going to grill you. So you should have had the answers.
Let me play a little more sound. This is Brett Baier asking her about President Biden's mental acuity. This is number 4.
He is unstable, Brett.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable?
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room, and he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
There were no concerns raised?
Brett, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand.
And Donald Trump
but
is.
You talked about it.
And Donald Trump
After George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand. You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years. You didn't have any concerns?
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump, which is why
See, she don't want to throw Joe Biden under the bus. All it is, she don't want to throw Joe Biden under the bus. I guarantee you she knew for a fact that his faculties was messed up. I'm like saying, I watched that debate between him and Donald Trump, and I saw for myself that this dude ain't right. If Joe Biden had the faculties to be president, he would still be in the race for president. He wouldn't have dropped out. It will be Biden versus Trump part 2.
people who know him best, including leaders of our national security community, have all spoken out.
You know, Geraldo, I thought some of the questions felt like sort of, right-wing talking points. I thought that was a very fair question from Brett Baier there to ask about when she learned. I thought a number of his questions were very, very fair. Thanks for watching. Go to join.
Yeah, man. Like, I have to say this, man. And I want to be honest. The Fox interview was a major disaster because honestly, I don't think she was prepared. Either she wasn't prepared or she thought that they weren't going to hit her with hardball questions. And when you don't come into a debate prepared, you're going to get cooked. And they didn't even do a 30-minute interview. The interview was like 23 minutes and some change. And I don't think he may have asked like 4 or 5 questions. But Geraldo, bruh, you knew. You were baffled. Come on, man. I knew this was going to happen. And millions of people knew this was going to happen. But hey, folks, let me know what you think in the comments. Did Kamala Harris do any favors for herself after this Fox News interview? It's your boy Jay, here with another video. If you like the content, hit that like button. Also hit the subscribe button. On my road to my first 100 subscribers on this channel. I also have another channel that's on its way to 10,000 subscribers. I got another video on the side right there for your viewing pleasure. Until next time, folks, I'm out.